Alright, this is how I make the Jeffrey Hamelman's pan Rustigue on page 111 on that book. And I'm going to make, instead of using a poolish, I'm going to use sourdough. So I'm going to put my sourdough starter together. If you want to make your own starter, you just take a tablespoon of rye flour, mix it in with about a half a cup of water and a half a cup of regular flour, put it in a jar like that and leave it out on the counter 2 or 3 days, and then you'll have a starter. That's your culture. And I'm going to take a tablespoon of that, put it in here with some flour and water, and that'll be my starter for this loaf of bread.
Oh, so this is still big news, right? The Virginia governor.
So just a little bit of this.
That was big news. Now it's kind of quiet, but I guess they still...
A little bit of water. It's 9 o'clock Sunday, and this is going to go until 3 o'clock in the afternoon tomorrow. So you just mix this up. It can be kind of wet, doesn't have to be real dry. And I'll put a top on it and let it go until tomorrow. Now the next step in this bread, we've got our sourdough starter going. It's nice and bubbly. And we're going to put 8 ounces of flour, bread flour. I usually use King Arthur all-purpose, but they didn't have any at the store, so I got this bread flour. About the same protein level. So 8 ounces of flour. And 8 ounces of water. I usually just go ahead and put a little bit of this in there, get it dissolved. Just a couple tablespoons. I made too much of the starter, so a couple tablespoons. Mix it up. There you go, 16. Put a little bit more of this in. Just mix it up till it's all wet, and then you're gonna leave this sit. This is 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and so we're gonna let this sit until 7 or 8 in the morning tomorrow, and this should be really bubbly, ready to go. This starter was about 21 hours. It was 8 o'clock yesterday morning till 3 o'clock this afternoon. That's it. Put a little saran wrap over it. That's what it looks like now. Alright, it's about 7 a.m. So the next step is to take the sourdough starter, which you can see here really has done a lot of work overnight. And we're going to put in the 3 ounces of water. Mix it up. Mix it in a little bit. And we've got 8 ounces of flour. I'm going to get this in there best we can. Mix it up, and we've got 1½ ounces of salt, 1½ teaspoons of salt, 3/4 teaspoon of yeast. I use a rapid rise. I'm going to leave those out for right now. Want to just get this mixed up, and then you're going to once it's mixed, you're going to cover it and let it rest for about 30 minutes. It's called autolysis, and you're letting the flour get really hydrated with the water in there. It's really sticky now. You can see it's hard to work, but it's important to get it all mixed in. And then after a half hour, we'll show you the next step. Alright, it's been about 30 minutes, so we're going to mix the salt in. Mix the yeast in. Very sticky, but it'll change in a little bit. Alright, now, fun part. I'm going to do the kneading. Important, even though it's very sticky, to not add any extra flour. That's where all the other old books were so wrong. They kept saying, oh, if it's too sticky, just add more flour. But you don't. You got to keep it this wet. All right. Get it out here. This is what I'm going to do is called the French style of kneading. And you just try to pick it up with the tips of your fingers. This, pick it up, throw it down. Pick it up, throw it down. You're throwing it over. And slapping it, because you want to try to incorporate air into that. And most recipes call for kneading for 10 minutes, but I just do 3 to 5 minutes. Once it starts coming together, you can see it's coming together already. Just in a short time here, it's not quite as sticky as it was. Now you're pinching, pulling, flipping. You can also use a mixer, but I like to do this. Alright, it's come together enough for me. So I'm going to clean the bowl out, put it in there to rest for a bit. It's been about an hour. We're going to do this first folding. So dump the dough out. Folding does the same thing as kneading. It helps develop the gluten and makes a stronger dough. So you just take it and pull it and fold it over. Pull it, fold it over. Same thing again here. Pull it, fold it, pull it, fold it. Put the smooth side down. Goes another hour. It's been an hour. Now what we're going to do is just dust this lightly with flour. Because we're going to dump this out. Fold it one more time and then shape it. Now most recipes, after the fold, you'd put it back in the bowl and let it finish rising. Get some on your hands. But this one, it's not the way you do it. So, gonna fold it. Try not to tear it when you're folding it. Okay. Now we're going to shape it. So to shape the loaf, you just want to push it out a little bit. Get some of those big air bubbles out, but not all of them. There's a million ways to shape the loaf. I'm going to do it this way, but you can watch online, there's others. So I'm going to fold it over about a third and push it down in there. And then I'm just going to fold it all the way over and seal it. Like that. Shape it a little bit, not too much, kind of being delicate with it. I have a basket here. This cloth, I've got rice flour on it. You could use any kind of non-gluten flour. It's better than using bread flour because it doesn't, this non-gluten flour doesn't stick as like bread flour would. Put it in the basket. I'm going to cover it with saran wrap. Well, dust it with a little flour. This is the bottom. That's where the seam is. Then we're going to cover it with saran wrap. We're going to let it proof for 90 minutes. So we'll be back. While the dough is proofing, you want to get the oven ready. And you're going to have a pizza stone about a third up from the bottom of the oven. And then I put this cast iron pan in here because I'm going to put water in there to add steam to the oven while we're baking. And then you're going to let your oven preheat. I'm going to use 460. Preheat for at least an hour. And that's to make sure that the stone is as hot as the oven when you put your bread in. So the bread's where it should be right now. It's been 90 minutes. And we're going to first put some ice cubes in that pan in the bottom of the oven to pre-steam. Then we're going to turn this bread out onto parchment paper. It's supposed to be a little gentler than that. Get it on this board. Oh God. Wouldn't you know it? Then I'm going to try to slit it. I'm always bad at this. I put a new blade in. Ooh, that new blade. And I put some oil on it. Alright, now I'm going to Spray it with water. Get it in the oven. Put some more water in the pan. Alright, let it bake for about 25-30 minutes at 460. Didn't come out too bad. It got a nice oven spring in there, but I didn't get my cut all the way to the end of the loaf, so it kind of got a strange shape to it. But it's going to be a great loaf of bread, and that's pretty much how I do it. I always make a little mistake here or there somewhere, but that's it.